Well, hello again. Welcome to the November episode of Let's Talk Miamisburg. Glad to have you with us. I'm Gary Giles. I'm the city's Public Information Officer. Well, here's what we have in store for you over the next 30 minutes. A little later in the program, staff from the Parks and Recreation Department will join us. They'll offer a preview of the city's annual holiday celebration event, as well as other holiday and winter recreation opportunities here locally. You'll want to be sure and stay tuned for that discussion. First up, though, we're happy to provide you with our annual report about road construction projects in Miamisburg. Joining me in our first segment to do that is Miamisburg City Engineer Bob Stanley. Before we get to Bob, we want to remind you that viewers are invited to participate in our program. If you're watching us on November 13th, you are watching us live. To call in with any questions for our guests, just dial 424-1679. We are also appearing on Facebook Live. If you're checking in there, we thank you for that. And we also invite you to call in with any questions that you might have for our guests. Bob Stanley, City Engineer, thank you so much for being here.
Great, Gary. Always good to be here.
Welcome back. I think we decided that you're kind of the longest running guest here on the program with Mayor Church's retirement.
That could be. I think that's a good thing.
You've been the City Engineer now how long?
Going on 21 years.
21. Well, I think you've been here at least 20 of those,
yeah,
right? Once a year. Let's remind our viewer before we get started about the responsibilities of the city engineer in Miamisburg, as well as what the department makeup looks like.
Sure. Well, we're a small department right in the heart of downtown. We provide cost-effective technical engineering management and service to the city, to our residents, and to the other departments throughout the city. There's myself as city engineer, Bill Monroe and Eric Vogel, our engineering techs, and then Sharon Long, our administrative assistant, who kind of pulls everything together. Basically, we manage the public right-of-way. That's the area within the roadway and inside the sidewalks. Take care of the capital program, sidewalk, curb and gutter, and paving, which we'll talk about. And then pretty much oversee the roadway, bridge improvements, any capital construction project, again, within that purview. 31 traffic signals, 1,500 streetlights, the roadside signs, pavement markings, utilities, and then again, as I said, assist all the other departments with any aspect of engineering and utility work.
And your department is located on the building located just behind us here on the set, which is caddy corner location of the Miamisburg Civic Center there at the corner of 1st Street and Central Avenue. Well, let's run through a few projects for our viewers, and we're going to start with a review of a completed project, and that had to do with some emergency road repairs, Bob, that occurred and were necessary for Lower Miamisburg Road west of the Great Miami River. Tell us the situation that road was in and how the city responded.
Well, in April of 2018, much to our surprise, we found that section of Lower Miamisburg had begun to slide or had a road slip down the hill, and the road was failing on the south side of a 600-foot section of roadway, basically due to heavy rains and drainage. So we immediately had to close the road for safety considerations, had some consultants out, and came up with a plan of, one, how to take care of this water issue and this road slip, and then secondly, what we're going to do to repair the road and make it usable again. Partnered with Montgomery County TID to help oversee and manage the project. There was a section of roadway in Montgomery County, so we again coordinated with Montgomery County Engineers Office, and then used our local barge design consultants along with a firm out of Cincinnati who really provided the technical expertise for the roadway repair and hillside slip repair.
Okay, let's put our first picture up on the screen for the viewer, and this is going to show Lower Miamisburg as work was just getting underway, the actual hard labor to fix that roadway. Tell us what we're looking at here.
Yeah, we're looking back towards the city to the east, and on the right-hand side or south side of the road, the guardrail's been removed. You can see the 2-lane section of road to your left, and you can start to see some concrete drilled piers which were done along that whole south side. When all said and done, over 210 piers were drilled to a depth of anywhere from 11 to 25 feet, and that helped stabilize that complete south side hillside section. And once that was done, we were able to come back. It was done in 2 stages. We were able to come back and then reconstruct the entire road, repair the base, and put down a new drainage and asphalt resurface course.
You can see those concrete columns there on the right side, and that's a pretty steep hill right there along that roadway. How many did you say that were
There
installed?
were over 210 of those the drilled piers put in, and then again, anywhere from a depth of 11 to 25 feet socketed into the bedrock to help hold that hillside.
And as much as anything can be permanent, you would think that's a permanent solution to that hillway, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
Hillside.
it could fall away on the south side, but that will hold the new roadway and
Sure.
the hillside to the north.
Sure. Well, let's put that next picture on the screen, and this is going to be an after picture.
Yeah, kind of looking at the same roadway section, but in the opposite direction. Again, the slippage and the drop-off was to the left. You can see the new guardrail, the new road edge, and then on the right-hand side of the picture, which is the north side of that section of roadway, new concrete curb and a drainage system to allow the water to be collected and not get underneath the road and cut into the hillside.
And what was the purpose of partnering with the Montgomery County agency?
With the TID, that allowed us to get to the contractors a little bit quicker,
Okay.
allowed someone to oversee the financing of the project, both from the county perspective and the city perspective, which was a big component. Ended up being about a $1.4 million project. By working closely with the TID, it allowed us to get a little bit jump on the schedule and allowed us to get the engineering done and then the construction finished earlier this year, and the roadway reopened.
It was finished and reopened when?
June. We discovered the problem in April of 18, did all the engineering, got through the winter, and then started in March and opened it in the end of June of 2019.
Okay. Well, let's move on to another project. It's not complete yet, but it is very close to being completion, and that would be an ODOT project that's taking place in Miamisburg on State Route 741, and that's a mile stretch of roadway north of 725. Tell us about that.
Yeah, this was a ODOT sponsored project within the city limits. Started at State Route 725, the big intersection there. Was the length of 741 all the way out to the city corp line to the north there at the Bauer School. It initially was going to be just a resurfacing project, but at that point it was pedestrian access, walkability, traffic signal improvements. All that was folded into the ODOT project. We were again partnered with them on the work. Work started this year. Utility relocates out there, and as most folks know who've been out there, motorists, residents, a lot of recent activity to try to get the final paving done and some of the construction work done here before the holiday, which again required lots of coordination, some lane closures, and certainly some disruption of traffic.
That's a really heavy traffic area, and that can present some challenges to a road construction crew, can it?
Yeah, some of the work, utility work, and some of the other work was done at night, but then some of the finer work of the paving, ODOT had worked with the contractor, and that was done during the day, during some of the peak traffic periods, and again, that caused some disruption, but at least it was done fairly quickly and safely in most cases.
And to be clear, as we sit here on November 13th, the heavy lifting on that project is essentially complete, right?
Yes, earlier last week, the final paving, the whole resurfacing was done, all the concrete, curb, sidewalk works is done, the reseeding, topsoil. So the remaining work will require some shorter term closures. Traffic signal there at the big intersection is going to be reworked at night, but then some of the loop work and traffic work will require shorter closures, but all the big heavy construction with the big equipment and all that is fairly complete at this point.
And ODOT does not expect those remaining work items to cause major disruptions to traffic. Is that correct?
Yeah, the intersection will see some change when the actual poles and new signals going in, but the old signal will remain. And then the further we get away from that intersection, then those lane closures will be less significant.
Let's put a picture of 741 up just real briefly for the viewer at home before we move on to our next topic. That's some of the sidewalk that you mentioned going up and before the paving began.
This is the east side of the project, just north of 725 intersection. You can see sidewalk being poured, curb work's already done, and then where you see the trucks construction trucks there to the left, that was the obvious area of roadway that was, again, milled and then recently repaved all the way from the big intersection all the way down to the Corp line.
Okay, we look forward to completion of that project, and of course our thanks to ODOT for their work on that one. Okay, then thirdly, we want to look ahead. Let's look ahead to 2020. Any big projects on the drawing board for next year that the public can look forward to?
Yeah, we do have one roadway project. Certainly been a while in getting that established. We're fortunate enough to get some grant funding from the state, from Ohio Public Works Commission project, which we've talked about before. It's the Gebhardt Church roadway improvement project. It's a section of Gebhardt Church adjacent to the high school from Belleville Road out to Jesse Lane. Two-lane road, much need of repair, and most importantly, pedestrian access to and from the high school and then the surrounding subdivisions. That project, about $1.8 million cost with grant and state funding. We'll install sidewalks, new curb and gutter, a new 1,800-foot length of water line, and then provided much needed sidewalk access and roadway, two-lane roadway with turn lanes for the traffic in that area.
Let's put our first picture of Gebhardt Church up on the screen for the viewer. And Bob, what are we looking at here?
Here's a somewhat of an aerial view looking at the existing two-lane road out there. Again, we're looking north from the south end of the project. The high school's off to the left. There you see the beginning of some of the residents. And again, that's the roadway. Imagine sidewalks on both sides, curb and gutter, storm drainage improvements, and then resurfacing of the entire roadway.
And you said there will be a turn lane?
There will be a turn lane at the, we're going to improve the turn lane down at Belleville Road,
Okay.
and then possibly there at the main high school entrance for the buses in and out.
Okay, let's just look at the other Gebhardt Church picture from the opposite direction. High school in this one, Miamisburg High School off to the right.
Yeah, we're going to take advantage of that area and right away to the west there between the fence and the roadway. Again, sidewalks on both sides, curb in and around the utility poles on the left, and then storm drainage to take the water away down to the north end of the project.
Now that roadway received a layer of asphalt in the not too distant past, correct?
Yeah, again, the surface had gotten pretty bad. The roadway had deteriorated. In response to concerns and the conditions, we came in and did a quick overlay of that section of roadway, just a thin overlay to hold it together,
Okay.
knowing that this project was in the works over the next year to year and a half.
Okay. Lastly, you mentioned at the top of the show that your department oversees those annual maintenance programs, things like sidewalk, curb and gutter, paving program to get out there into the community on city streets, get those repaved. What can the public look forward to in those programs in 2020?
Well, in 2020, well, as you know, in the past several years, we've been very fortunate with the budget and trying to address all the infrastructure and as many roads and areas as possible. In 2020, we're going to focus sidewalk, curb and gutter on two major thoroughfares, Heineke Road in phases, and we just did a recent section of Heineke down from Maui to 725. And then we're going to be doing South Main Street from Linden Avenue down to Mays Avenue, and then continue that over 2 years. Paving this next year will include that section of Heineke that we just did sidewalk, curb and gutter on, the 6 sidewalk, curb and gutter streets from last year, and then continue in the north area of town. Also includes some alleys and some parking lots, and we were able to do that this past year, and are going to try to continue that in the next several years to make sure we address the alleys and some of the public parking areas throughout the city.
So a fewer number of streets getting new pavement, but some major thoroughfares.
Yeah, 2 major thoroughfares along with those other areas I mentioned. Dollar-wise, about the same. Again, $600,000 to $800,000 of paving and $200,000 to $300,000 of sidewalk, which again keeps us moving forward as we try to address all the streets over that 20 to 25 year period.
Sure. Unfortunately, our time is up. Bob Stanley, City Engineer, we appreciate you being back with us. Thanks for the good information.
Sure.
If anybody wants to follow up on any of the topics we talked about here, What's a main number for your department?
Yeah, the easiest way is our main number there in the office, 847-6531. Again, 847-6531. We're also available through email at engineer@cityofmiamisburg.com.
Okay. Thanks for stopping by.
Sure, always a pleasure.
Bob Stanley, Miamisburg City Engineer, joining us here on Let's Talk Miamisburg. We're going to take a 60-second break now. When we return, we're going to switch gears. We're going to talk a little bit about holiday and wintertime recreation in Miamisburg. Stay with us. And welcome back to Let's Talk Miamisburg. I'm Gary Giles. If you saw that last message board there on your screen, you saw that our next live episode of the program here is going to be on January the 8th at 7 o'clock. And the new mayor of Miamisburg, Michelle Collins, is going to be our first guest in 2020. She'll be appearing with City Manager Keith Johnson. It's going to be your first chance, really, to learn about Miamisburg's new mayor, even call in with any questions that you might have for her about her background or the things that she is hoping to accomplish over the next 4 years. So we hope you'll tune in and see Miamisburg's new mayor, Michelle Collins. Of course, we would also be remiss if we did not acknowledge the retirement of longtime Miamisburg Mayor Dick Church Jr. He's been a big supporter of our program here and a big supporter of government access television here at the Miami Valley Communications Council. We wish him all the very best, good health and happiness in retirement. And if you haven't seen it yet, he has a new program called Dick Church Remembers here on this channel. A good recapturing of his life in Miamisburg and his 28 years in the mayor's chair. So check out mvcc.net, see when that show is on, and if you're able to check it out, we invite you to do so. Joining me here in our second segment, as I mentioned, and from our Parks and Recreation Department, to my immediate left is the Operations Supervisor, Sheila Russell. And to my far left, or the far right on your screen, is Kayla Sensenbach. Kayla is Operations Manager in the Parks and Recreation Department. Ladies, hello. Welcome back to the show. Glad to see you. Glad to see you. I'm just now starting to think about the holidays, but you're getting me in the mood.
We're all set.
You're getting me in the mood. Well, thanks for being here.
Thank you for
Certainly
having
appreciate
us.
your time. Recreation opportunities certainly do not stop in Miamisburg. That's for
Never
sure.
slows down.
That's for sure. We want to provide some of the highlights for the upcoming activities for the public, in particular around the holiday season. Okay, so we're going to start sort of chronologically, take a chronologic look, and we'll start with you, Sheila, beginning with the very popular Miamisburg Turkey Trot on Thanksgiving morning. What can runners expect this year?
Well, it's a tradition for many, and if it's not a tradition for you yet, make it one, because it's a fabulous event. 41 years we've been doing this. So the Ohio River Roadrunners Club started this off. We as the city support it in every way we can. We expect 10,000 people to come into Miamisburg that morning.
A heck of a morning.
It is. Lots with turkeys on their heads. Some just turkeys, who knows?
Costumes are very common.
Yes. There's contests. It's a wonderful opportunity to get together as a family or friends. It's really it's a great experience. And then a lot of people will then visit some of the establishments that are open in Miamisburg afterwards to get that pre-holiday Thanksgiving little snack after the race. But it's a 5 mile. It's an annual event, and it's 1 in a million.
I think it's the same route as last year, isn't it?
It is the same route as last year.
That's what I
And
thought.
if you're not up for 5 miles, you can always do the 1 mile.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Still
Okay.
great to work off those turkey pounds.
Thanksgiving morning. It's a tradition in Miamisburg. Come on down if you've never participated before.
And you can register at miamisburgtrot.com.
Okay.
Check out the website.
Okay. Then coming up shortly, as we talk about the holiday season, you've got something coming up for holiday shopping, holiday shoppers.
Yes, we do. So on December 7th, which is our annual holiday celebration, and actually this year we have a presenting sponsor, and that's Premier Health. So we're going to be doing all kinds of things that day, but we'll have browse, shop, and eat, and people can go into the various merchants and businesses. Some will have sales, some will have some special discounts. There might be games or activities or refreshments. You might get some caroling. You might get a little magician popping out. You just don't know. So we have wonderful and quaint establishments downtown. So we hope people will come out and kick off their holiday season by doing that.
Well, how about your home party event for the holiday shopping?
We also have the home party, and thank you. That's another one.
You're very welcome. That's where I was going with that, you know.
I know. We have so many things in Miamisburg, it's hard to keep
them all straight, isn't it?
But we do have Thanksgiving weekend, that Friday, that Saturday is small business. Now I'm all flustered here. Small business Saturday, and so from 9 to 2, we will have all kinds of home party products, local arts and crafters coming in, selling one-of-a-kind items so that you can come in, shop. We'll have food to eat. We'll also have kindness rocks painting down in the basement of the community center. So there's things to do for the kids. So there's also, you know, if your husband doesn't want to shop with you, we have a pool table in the back room. They can shoot a little bit of that while you can shop till you drop and
the whole thing takes place in the community center, indoors, day after Black Friday.
Festively decorated, yes, from 9 to 2. So stop in.
Tell people where that's located. Where's the
That
community
is located,
center?
it's the old Senior Adult Center. It's at 305 East Central Avenue. So right as you come into Miamisburg across the railroad tracks, bingo, it's right there.
Right there on your right,
Yep.
if you're coming from the Dayton Mall area.
And there'll be plenty of parking. Miamisburg has loads of parking, so come on in. We'll have signs telling you where to go to do that.
Okay, now let's talk about that community holiday celebration. Big tradition in Miamisburg. Every year, big event. A lot of traditional aspects of that. Let's talk about the date again, when it is.
It is Saturday, December 7th.
And what families are going to see this year.
What families?
What families in the area are going to see if they come to the event this year.
So we will have all kinds of wonderful things. So first of all, the parade will step off at 4 p.m. We do have a new parade route this year, so it will go straight down Main Street. So we'll have staging at Community Park and at Long's Cleaners and at Locke and Main. The parade will go in the opposite direction, all the way down Main Street to Ferry.
Northbound.
Northbound.
Straight shot down Main.
So anywhere along Main Street will be a perfect viewing spot. Market Square building, great area to view. A little bit earlier that day, the Eagles Club will have something for the mayor, so you can go in there and kind of step right out and see the parade right before it ends. So great places to kind of warm up before the parade with the establishments and then pop out when the parade starts. So that's at 4. And then right after that, we will go into the mayor's tree lighting. So we'll have a beautifully festively decorated tree in Riverfront Park. We'll have some Victorian carolers. Buddy the Elf might show up, maybe Olaf, who knows, we'll have some treats out there.
Always some surprises.
Yes, you never know. And then kids who would like to visit Santa and Mrs. Claus can do that from 5:30 to 7:30 at Fire Station 53. We brought this back last year because it was our bicentennial, and there was a lot of nostalgia, and everybody remembered when they were a child how they could go to the fire station and get an orange and some candy. So it was a big hit last year. We brought it back for this year, so kids will be able to do that. Some of them kind of felt they were a little rushed through with getting their picture taken, so rest assured, we'll slow it down. You'll have time to visit with Santa, get a couple of snapshots. And if you don't bring your camera, we'll have one on site and we can take pictures for you.
I think people really enjoyed that last year for the very reasons that you mentioned. It was a tradition for some reason they got away from, but people had great memories of going to the fire station
They
and
were
seeing Santa
reminiscing
Claus.
all day
I
long
know.
talking about it, yes.
So it's great that they brought
Yes.
that back, and now they're
Facebook
continuing
was
it.
filled with comments about it. It really brought, you know, a lot of dear memories to people.
Sure.
Yeah.
Full day of activities. Let's give the date one more time.
It's December 7th, starting at 4 o'clock with the parade. We're still accepting entries, so if you have a
Good
group,
point.
organization, want to get together, go to playmiamisburg.com, register. It's free. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Come on out.
Kayla, let's bring you in here,
Yeah.
if we can.
Yeah, of course.
The Parks and Recreation Department is providing several other activities in
Yep.
which families can enjoy the holidays. Tell us about some of the highlights.
Yeah, so all the week before and the week after the holiday parade, we have a lot of different opportunities. Starting with
Okay.
on Tuesday, December 3rd, we have our annual gingerbread house decorating contest. And so people are able to come in, bring their own candies, or we'll have a table filled with different candy that they can bring their creativity and decorate a gingerbread house. And they can do this individually or they can do this as a family. It's just $15 per house, and you do have to pre-register so we can make sure we have enough houses for everyone.
Sure,
But it's a
sure.
really fun event for people to bring out, and yeah.
Where is it and how do they pre-register?
Yes, so this is at the Miamisburg Community Center.
Okay.
And for all these programs I might mention real quick, you
Yeah.
can register for them on our website at playmiamisburg.com.
Okay.
Or you can call us at 937-866-8999.
All right.
Yeah, so that is our first little program that we have.
Sure.
And then that same weekend as the parade, the morning before, we have our sensory-friendly Santa. So this is a time where people that need a little bit more private time with Santa and to avoid the long lines like at the mall and just a little private time with Santa, they can pre-register, schedule an appointment, come get some picture taken. And yeah, it's a great opportunity for them.
Okay.
And then that next day, on Sunday, we have our also annual Sundays with Santa. This is $5 a person, and we have two sessions because it's really popular. So we have a session at 6 p.m. and then a session at 7:30 p.m. And during this time, kids and families are able to come out, do some crafts, do some games, make a Sunday pictures with Santa, and then before they leave, we'll do a flashlight candy cane hunt. So we'll divide go outside, divide different sections for different age groups, and then we'll Santa will count us down and we'll go hunt for candy canes, and in each group we'll have a giant candy cane hidden for them to get a prize.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. So no shortage of getting in the Christmas spirit, right?
No, we even have an opportunity for the puppies too.
Yes.
Right before that, on December 8th from 3 to 4 p.m., bring your dog to Canal Run Dog Park. We'll have Santa there. For members of our dog park, it is free, but if you're not a member, you can still get your picture for $5 with your pup.
Okay.
Yeah.
Real briefly, usually after the holidays, Miamisburg Parks and Recreation offers a variety of fitness type programs
Yeah.
for people to stay active in the winter. We have some of those this year.
Yes, of course, always. So
Okay.
actually right now you can even come in, drop into our fitness classes for $5 for each class. You can see our listing on our website, playmiamisburg.com.
Okay.
And then all of our sessions for the new year, I believe, start Monday, January 6th. And then it'll be a fun time to come and get in shape after the holidays.
Last question, our time is short. Sheila, people going to start looking for seasonal jobs over the course of the winter for 2020?
Yes, they are.
That soon you'll be
November
accepting those?
21st, we will start accepting applications. So they can
Okay.
go online to playmiamisburg.com and complete that application. Yes, we're looking for lifeguards, camp counselors, event support, you name it. Park, you want to mow the grass, we've got a job for you. Playmiamisburg.com.
Summer Jobs 2020.
Yeah.
Sheila Russell and Kayla Sensenbaugh from the Parks and Recreation Department. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you.
I'm Gary Giles. We appreciate you watching. Happy holidays, and we'll see you soon. So long, everybody.